Yes, indeed, friends. In today's video, I want to talk to you about why it's so fucking hard to change your problems, your mental or emotional problems, why your mind isn't working the way you want it to. What I want to get to today is to first realize that every one of your problems is in fact a solution that your unconscious is creating. Every one of them. So let's talk about some major ones here. Let's say money is a good one. Spending money, even though you've got a saving goal, you keep spending money on shit you don't need and doesn't really satisfy you. You are constantly clinging to relationships that you know are bad for you, and everyone tells you bad for you, and they make you feel like shit, but you stay with them. And maybe you leave one girlfriend, then go into another fucking bad relationship with a very similar sort of girl. Money, maybe social media feed. You are addicted to your social media feed. Anxiety. You feel like you're constantly anxious in public. So what I want to get to you first of all is that every one of these problems is in fact a solution. And in particular, this works with addictions, but I see almost all problems as addictions now. We are addicted to, first of all, an addiction is a solution always to avoid emotional discomfort, right? And if I get to the base level, any one of your problems, what you see as a problem, is always a solution to trying to avoid discomfort, normally an anxiety or some sort of emotion in your body. So let's talk about money. Is a simple one. There's so much emotion around money. If you find that you're always spending your money, even though you've got a saving goal, and you spend money on shit that you really don't need, what you'll find if we did some work is you look unconsciously, there'll be some sort of fear around having lots of money. Maybe you think people with money are fuckwits or they're greedy. Maybe potentially there's a lot of fear about losing money once you've got it, and the pain of that would be too painful for you to deal with, so you'd rather just get rid of it rather than have the opportunity. If it's relationships you're in, if you're constantly clinging to bad relationships, there's at a deeper level most probably a self-worth issue that you don't deserve someone better, or there's a deep fear of being alone, and so you're always jumping from one relationship straight into another one, and you're scared of being on your own there. Your unconscious there is the solution is your unconscious doesn't like the discomfort of being alone, so it would rather cling to someone and have that security or comfort than have the real discomfort of being alone. So it'll put itself through some pain rather than what it feels like is a bigger pain of being alone and having all that uncertainty in your life. Social media feed is a really simple one that everyone has in some way, is an addiction to social media feed. That if you check into yourself, whenever you jump onto Netflix or onto social media, you never feel fulfilled afterwards. The reason is most of the time you jump on those social media feeds because you feel what feels like boredom, but it's in fact discomfort in your body, and you're trying to distract yourself from discomfort. Oh, I'll just fucking distract my mind for a little bit with social media feed for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it might turn into an hour, however fucking long people spend on social media these days. But if you check in with yourself, there's almost always a discomfort you feel in your body, and you're looking for some way to get away from it. Because we are now living in a world where there's so many of these technological distractions, which probably haven't been invented for this reason, but we're using them for the reason to avoid a fucking discomfort. So, after this whole video, just take right now, think about the one biggest challenge in your life, and it can be something as deep as depression, and ask yourself a question. And the problem is your unconscious does not want to shift, because it sees what you see as the problem, it is seeing as a solution to solve a deeper issue, right? Its intention is good, it's just not doing it in the best way. So you got to ask a question of how could, potentially, hypothetically, this thing I see as a problem, this way my brain or mind or emotion draws me to something, even though I know it's not good for me, how could that potentially be trying to serve me? What discomfort might be avoiding, or what pleasure might I be going towards by having that bad problem in my life? And the reason you might ask that question is because by asking that question honestly and just coming up with answers, you will discover that it is not a problem. And just in that awareness, it stops being a problem, and you start saying, oh, it's trying to serve me, but it's not doing it in the right way. I know what the intention is now, it's just not doing it in the best way. How can I get that intention in a better way, right? Because if you're fighting yourself saying, fuck, I'm such an idiot for having this stupid problem, why am I so fucking weak or undisciplined or whatever the reasons are, you're saying to yourself, nothing's going to change that way. It's a negative circle loop that should dive you further into the addiction. Instead, you take a place of love or acceptance of working with it, not against it, and it changes everything. So hopefully that'll shift some awareness for some of you. Ask that question, how could this potentially be shifting me towards something better? How could it be trying to serve me? And that can make big changes for you. Keep it real, motherfuckers. Ciao.